Everyone, welcome. I'm so excited to share something really cool with you today. We're going to explore three absolutely amazing living things that call Southeast Alaska home. We're talking about a super tiny fungus, a massive, powerful bear, and a giant tree that can live longer than your great great grandparents. Let's dive in and discover some awesome science. First up is the reindeer lichen. And yes, it's actually a fungus, which is pretty wild. Then we'll meet the brown bear. These guys are seriously cool hibernators. And finally, we'll learn about the Sitka spruce, which is an enormous tree that's been growing in Alaska forests for hundreds of years. For each of these organisms, we're going to ask three big questions. How do they get their energy? How do they respond to their environment? And how do they keep their bodies balanced and healthy? Are you guys ready? Okay, the reindeer lichen might look simple, but it's actually super interesting. Here's the secret. It's not just one organism, it's two organisms working together as a team. There's a fungus and an algae part, and they need each other to survive. The fungus part, it's like the anchor and the water collector. It has these special structures called rhizomes. The fungus can't make its own food, so it needs help. That's where the algae comes in. The algae has chlorophyll, which is the stuff that makes plants green. It can do photosynthesis. That means it can capture energy from sunlight and turn it into food. So the algae makes the food from sunlight and it shares some of that food with the fungus. In return, the fungus protects the algae and keeps it moist. Scientists have actually studied these partnerships. They call it symbiosis. And recent research shows that lichens have evolved some pretty incredible abilities to handle different seasons and climates. Now, Southeast Alaska is not exactly tropical paradise, right? It gets cold, dry sometimes, and sunlight is little in the summer and very little in the winter. So, how does the lichen survive all that? Here's what's amazing. When it gets freezing cold, the lichen basically goes dormant. It's like taking a nap. Its metabolism slows way down and it just waits for warmer weather. When the air is really dry, the lichen actually shrinks. It gets smaller and tighter to save water. And when there's too much sunlight in the summer, the lichen produces protective pigment, kind of like sunscreen, for the algae inside. It's protecting the photosynthetic part from getting damaged by UV rays. We've learned that lichen is two organisms, a fungus and an algae, living together. But how do they maintain that relationship? How does that balance work? Well, the fungus provides a protected home. It creates this structure that shields the algae and keeps it from drying out. The fungus also brings in water and minerals that the algae needs. In exchange, the algae makes food through photosynthesis and shares it with the fungus. Because remember, fungi can't make their own food. This is a really delicate balance. If the fungus gets too much food, it might grow too fast and shade out the algae. If the algae doesn't make enough food, the fungus suffers. They have to communicate through chemistry. To keep this balance just right, it's like a perfect choreographed dance between two partners. Okay, now let's switch gears. Let's talk about something different, the brown bear. Unlike the lichen that makes its own food from sunlight, bears get their energy by eating. Bears have some seriously impressive tools for getting food. First, they have these sharp teeth, not just for showing off, but for actually tearing apart their food. Berries, fish, meat, whatever they're eating, those teeth help break it down into manageable pieces. Then there's their stomach. Bears' digestive system is really powerful. It can break down almost anything: fish protein, berry carbohydrates, plant materials. It's like having a super efficient food processor inside your body. But here's where it gets really cool. And this is real science from researchers studying bears. Bears have special gut bacteria that actually change with the seasons. In summer, when they're eating tons of berry and fish, one type of bacteria dominates their gut. When they prepare for hibernation and start eating less, their bacterial community changes. These bacteria actually help bears process energy super efficiently and prepare their bodies for long winter sleep. This is some seriously sophisticated. Brown bears have an incredible ability to respond to seasonal changes in Alaska. In the summer, the weather warms up, fish are running in the rivers, berries are ripening on the bushes, there's food everywhere. During this time, a brown bear will eat approximately 90 pounds of food per day. I know, right? That's like eating 45 bags of potato chips in one day. They're gorging themselves because they're building up fat reserves. That fat is literally going to keep them alive through the winter. Then the fall comes. The days get shorter, temperatures drop, and bears start looking for den sites. They'll find caves, hollow trees, or dig dens in the hillsides. And as they settle into their dens, their activity level drops dramatically. And then winter comes, the real test. The bear goes into hibernation. Its heart rate drops significantly, its body temperature lowers, and it enters the state where it barely moves for months. The hibernation process in bears is honestly one of the most fascinating things of all biology. When a bear enters hibernation, its core body temperature drops from normal 98 to about 88 degrees Fahrenheit. That might not sound like a huge drop, but for body temperatures, it's significant. It means that the bear's metabolism is running at a fraction of normal speed. For 5 to 7 months, yes, I said months, the bear doesn't eat, doesn't drink water, doesn't go to the bathroom. How is that possible? Well, the bear's body is running entirely on stored fat. The fat is being broken down slowly, releasing energy to keep the bear's heart beating, keep it breathing, and keep its brain functioning at a minimal level. Scientists used to think hibernating bears would starve to death if they stayed awake, but they don't. Their bodies are perfectly adapted to survive on those fat reserves. And here's another wild part. Bears don't actually experience muscle loss, even though they're lying still for months. Their muscles stay strong. So when spring comes and the bear wakes up, it's ready to go. This is an incredible example of biological adaptation. Let's discuss the Sitka spruce, one of the tallest and longest living trees in Alaska. Unlike bears, which hunt for food, or lichen, which collaborates with algae, Sitka spruce trees produce their own food through photosynthesis, a vital earth process. The spruce needles act like solar panels, capturing sunlight to transform water and carbon dioxide into sugars for the tree's growth. However, they also need nutrients from the soil. The roots absorb essential minerals, especially nitrogen and phosphorus, which are crucial for effective photosynthesis. Studies show that when Sitka spruce trees have adequate nitrogen and phosphorus, they photosynthesize more efficiently, enhancing their growth and energy production. Southeast Alaska is a rainforest characterized by heavy rainfall, a lot of snow, and sometimes some pretty strong winds. The Sitka spruce has developed several adaptations to thrive in these conditions. Unlike most trees that lose their leaves in fall, the Sitka spruce retains its needles year round. This allows it to photosynthesize even in winter when the sunlight is limited. Secondly, the branches of the Sitka spruce are flexible. They bend under the weight of snow instead of breaking. This enables snow to slide off while the branches return to their original position. And finally, the tree is equipped for low light photosynthesis. That means it allows it to effectively capture whatever light is available during the winter months. Trees must manage water efficiently and effectively, and the Sitka spruce is particularly skilled at it. Its needles have waterproof waxy layer called cuticle, which helps retain the water in dry conditions. The tree also features tiny pores called stomata that open for carbon dioxide intake during photosynthesis and close to conserve water when conditions are too dry. Though the tough bark further helps regulate water loss. This efficient water management allows Sitka spruce trees to live for over 800 years, adapting to varied conditions with ease. Each of these organisms have unique traits. The reindeer lichen is a partnership between fungus and algae. The brown bear can hibernate for months without food or water, and the Sitka spruce can live over 800 years. These adaptations help them thrive in southeast Alaska. Now, these three organisms, lichens, bears, and spruce trees, have much in common. They're all living beings that require energy. They respond to environmental changes and maintain health. However, they also differ in how they obtain the energy. Lichen partners with fungi and algae. Bears hunt, and trees use sunlight for photosynthesis. While bears hibernate, lichens and spruce trees are active year round. They're interconnected in their ecosystem, as bears eat berries from spruce trees and hunt reindeer that eat lichen. This illustrates how everything in nature. Biological organizations is key to how organisms function. Cells are like Lego bricks, forming tissue, which create organs, like a bear's heart. Multiple organs work together in systems, enhancing efficiently. This organization allows organisms to perform remarkable tasks like hibernation and symbiotic partnerships. Today, we explored a tiny fungus made up of two organisms, a bear that hibernates through winter, and a tree that can live for 800 years. The main takeaway is that nature is incredibly diverse, with every organism, big or small, having unique adaptations for survival. Southeast Alaska hosts some remarkable life. I hope you found this interesting. Thank you for listening.